Welcome to the Blerdsnerds podcast.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Blerdsnerds podcast. I'm James.
I'm Jaja.
And we have our special guest on, Brandon. Welcome to the pod,
sir.
Brandon.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
Shannon's still out on vacation. She got back a day later than she thought. Maybe it was a time zone discrepancy, but shout out to Shannon. She seems to be having a good time out there. So we'll hear from her next week if she can make it, if she's not back on her next vacation. So let's jump into it. We got boys' night going on, so we'll be bringing you a lot of Deadpool, a lot of Marvel, a couple video game stuff, some TV movie news, and of course, it's going to be a lot of spoilers. So if you haven't seen Deadpool by now, skip to like the end when we do our outro. So let's get into, well, first, let's start with some nerdy things. You don't got to skip yet. Anybody want to kick us off?
I could start us off. I got a good amount of nerdy things to talk about.
All right.
So starting off with video games, I've been playing Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 because that dropped on Game Pass. So
okay,
been getting a chance to check that out. Real nostalgic. I like that they got a lot of the old maps in there. So it was really easy to jump into and just start going crazy because I knew like half the maps. So that's cool. I've been playing a lot of No Man's Sky. A lot of No Man's Sky. I've been playing this update. The 5.0 update is absolutely amazing. It's like, and I'm glad I got to play the game before the update because I really like, this is the craziest update I've seen for a game ever. Like graphically, just graphically. All the planets are like spruced up. You're walking through like the fauna. The fauna's like reacting to your body, touching it, moving to the side. Like it really adds a lot of immersion to the game. And, so Starfield got a lot of competition on their hands right now. No Man's Sky is not playing any games. So that's been taking up a lot of my time video game wise. And then on the other side, watch the movie Deadpool Wolverine. I've actually seen it twice.
Oh,
I seen it. I watched it the first time, and then I seen it on YouTube. It was on YouTube, the full movie.
Crazy. Yeah, I seen it. The whole thing was on Twitter.
It was.
Yeah, I put it too.
It was up for 8 hours, and I said, "Yo, you know what? I'm just gonna put this on real quick," and I just put it on, and I ended up watching it again. So, and it was cool because the second time I was able to jot down some notes. I was like, "Yo, I want to talk about this for the pod, this for the pod, this for the pod." So. Yeah, we spoiler review. When we get to Deadpool, if y'all haven't seen the movie, I would skip that whole part. Of course, seen House of the Dragon. We'll talk about that later. And I've been gearing up for Rings of Power Season 2 to drop. I don't know if you guys are Lord of the Rings fans.
Okay.
But
I haven't been keeping up.
Me and my girlfriend, we watched the first season, so we'll be watching Season 2. We liked it.
Okay. Yeah. So I loved it, and I forgot why I loved it, and I was putting people on, and so I had a coworker that was watching it, so I just happened to watch a recap to like freshen up on it, and I was like, oh my god, I fell in love with it again. I was like, oh, I forgot all this stuff happened, and now Season 2, the trailer looks like it's gonna be even more like Lord of the Rings, the movies, the feeling, like the vibe of the season. Like it's gonna be some wars happening, and there's gonna be a lot of stuff. So I'm excited for that. But I thought it was coming out the 29th of July, but it's the 29th of August. So I was really disappointed when I logged in to my Amazon Prime, and it says Season 2. You click Season 2, and then it just gives you like the back end episodes of Season 1. So I was so confused. I thought it was like a glitch. So I was waiting a couple of days, but then I looked it up. It's August 29th. So that's when it comes out. I started Fallout. I watched like the first 3 episodes. That show, we all gotta watch that show and talk about it, because just off the first episode, I was like, okay, I see how this grabbed a lot of people. Like this is gonna be if they just keep going, it's gonna be hard not to fuck this up. I mean, it's gonna be hard to fuck this up because it's a really cool show. So trying to watch that, but then I saw that they had a new Batman show on Amazon Prime, The Caped Crusader.
Yeah.
So I got distracted. That's why I didn't finish Fallout this week, because I actually blazed through that show, and I actually have one more episode of that. So I don't know if you were watching that, James, but it's a really dope. Like I don't even want to call it a reboot, remaster. Like they brought back the Batman animated series. It feels like the Batman animated series with a modern twist, and they're starting from the beginning, so you get a whole not a whole origin story, but it's like it's a story redone over because you're seeing some criminals come into their form or whatever, and so that's a really dope show. Right now, I'm gonna say I like it better than the new Superman cartoon, but they both up there. But the Batman one, it instantly hit me with nostalgia, like smack dab. So we could talk about that. What else? What else? I think One Piece. I gotta give you my One Piece update. Because I've been blazing One Piece. I'm at 424.
Oh yeah.
In the anime or the manga?
In the anime.
Okay.
So right now he's trying to spoiler alert for all the people who haven't seen One Piece, but at 424 he's trying to save his brother Ace. So that's where I'm at. And this is probably like the horniest section of One Piece that I've ever watched. Just like from the beginning of this arc has been straight horny. So it's been dope. And I think that's it. I'm gonna wrap up my nerdy things.
Nice. Yeah, I'm gonna definitely have to check out that Cape Crusader. And you're at some of the peak one. I mean, One Piece is just peak all the time, but Marineford is one of them arcs where like, all right, it's no turning back now.
Yeah, it's insane. It's insane. I'm fully locked in.
Yeah. What about you, Brandon? What you been up to nerdy this past week?
Nerdy this week. So my brother has been trying to get me to start Bloodborne, and finally started that. I'm about 8 or 9 hours in right now. It's tough. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's tough. It's fun. The atmosphere is it's like gothic horror. Very interesting. The like lore has been, just it's just really interesting. Let me see. I'm waiting for the final chapter of My Hero to drop.
Dropping today.
I've been hearing Twitter talk about it. They're not happy about it. I don't know.
Yeah, I've been ducking spoilers left and right.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm excited for that. Let me see what else. I've been watching. Oh gosh, how do you pronounce her name? Furin.
Yep.
Really, really dope. It was a slow start. I won't lie to you. It took a little while to get going. I'm on episode 26 right now. I'm loving it. Like I'm really, really enjoying it. I think I'm going to go back and watch Blue Lock next because season 2 drops, I believe, in October.
October.
Yeah, so I'm excited for that. Also, I saw Deadpool. Really, really enjoyed it. I have a lot of thoughts on it. So I'll save that, for when we get to it. Let's see, nerdy. Yeah, that's about it for me. Not a whole lot going on, nerdy wise for me.
Gotcha. Good to hear you've been doing some gaming, hopping into some Souls games. Let's see, what have I been up to? I finished Remonster. That was pretty good. It's one of them like isekai where they get transported to another world, so he can gain new abilities and stuff by like eating things that he defeats. So finished that pretty good. I picked up a new JoJo's Blu-ray set, so I got set number 5 now. So here we are. Nice. Diamond is Unbreakable. So yeah, I've been collecting the JoJo's Blu-rays. So they're up to here. They stopped this art style of the covers. So the next parts, it has a different art style. So I don't know if they're gonna make it into this art style or not. So I don't know if I want to buy it yet, because the next part 5 is my favorite part. So I'm definitely looking to buy that on Blu-ray soon. But yeah. Otherwise, what else did I do? DreamCon, of course. So I was at DreamCon. This year I happened to get my hands on a press badge. I mean, not a press badge, but an industry badge. So that allowed me to, skip some of the lines and get into some of the different panels and stuff. So I did get to check out Family Feud. DreamCon, still still a great con. It wasn't crazy hot in Texas this time, so I could have come with some different cosplays. So, but I did bring my Psyche K cosplay, and then I did Stone Cold Steve Austin. So my buddy, he was The Rock, so we did like a Stone Cold and The Rock kind of one day. And someone actually drew my Psyche K cosplay. I didn't post it yet, but let me show you a picture real quick. This guy, I met him in the industry panel, and he was crazy talented. So he's making his own video game. And hopefully get him on the pod as he gets more developments here. But you guys seen the Psyche K? This is the what he drew. So
that's fire.
yeah, that guy, crazy talented. His name is
that's fire.
Ozzy.
Nice.
Wow. So yeah, he seen it. He was like, "Oh man, I love to draw this," and I was like, "Hey, be my guest." So he took a picture, and then yeah, within a week, he sent that back. So yeah, that was super tough. But yeah, the industry panel that I was at, it was like, well, it wasn't a panel, it was a mixer, so like a meet and greet. So it was for people that work in anime and gaming, or just like the industry of content creation, really. Anyways, so it was dope. I got to meet some creators of all different kinds, some tattoo artists and stuff like that. One lady, she worked at, I want to say, Paramount. The CEO of Twitch was in there, so it was a lot of people in there like that were like actually connected in the industry. So yeah, I got to rub shoulders with some really cool people. Met a lot of people. So did a lot of good networking. But the interesting thing is they had an
hold on.
like a.
I gotta ask. I have to ask. Were you repping the Blerdsnerds, or were you repping the micro?
Hey, I ain't gonna lie. I dropped the ball on that. I did not rep Blerdsnerds. I was repping Microsoft. So, but I mean, right. Yeah, some of the people I was meeting there, they were like work at gaming companies. So I mean, I would like to work, closer to anime and gaming, just in my personal career. So like with my actual, cloud development or even software development skills, I would like to get aligned to anime and gaming. So I was kind of under that vein of like, all right, this is my skill set. So
that was a huge networking opportunity.
Yeah, so it was some tough networking going on there. But yeah, so they actually they had asked me to come up on stage to do a fireside chat. So it was like just like interviews with people. So it was dope. I got to be up on stage at DreamCon. So it was pretty nice. They were asking pretty random questions. So yeah, I was definitely an experience. I did not come prepared to do any public speaking, but I mean, it was cool. They were just asking chill questions. So like, what's something that you could give a TED talk on with no preparation? If there was an actor to play a biopic in your movie, who would you pick? I mean, of course, I said Morris Chestnut. Him and I, we look similar enough, so we had to go ahead and
wait. What was the answer to the first question?
That I could give a TED talk unprovoked. Colognes. So cologne, that's my thing. I can, yeah. No preparation.
And you could pull off a Morris Chestnut, bro. Definitely, yeah. That's facts.
No, he would be playing me. Yeah, he would be playing me in my biopic.
And if you put on the brown do-rag for it, yo.
Oh man, I might have to do that. Yeah, but DreamCon, definitely a good experience. So down in Austin, it's moving next year. So they haven't announced where it'll be next year, but yeah, it's definitely going to be at a different location. So it won't be at the same convention center in Austin anymore. And potentially not in Texas anymore. But I mean, RDC is in Texas, so I think they want to keep it close to home. I don't want to speak for them, but I mean, it would make sense to keep it in Texas just because competition to other places, like when people want to travel for cons, like there's, big stuff in Vegas, big stuff on the East Coast. I think for the South, I mean, there's stuff in Atlanta too, but like the South, as far as like the middle of the country, I think Texas is a good place to have it because it's like a decent center point. So we'll see once they finally announce it. I did pick up a couple cool things. So I got this Miles Morales shirt. So it's like
man,
panels. Yeah, super tough.
That's fine.
Oh, that's tough.
Yeah. Hey. And then I still collecting pins. So I got Brooke. This one glows in the dark.
Nice. Now I know who that is.
Yeah. You met him by now.
Oh yeah.
Interesting enough, Jaja brought up some Batman. So I actually got this pin of Terry McGinnis.
Ooh.
Oh yeah.
A Batman Beyond?
Batman Beyond pin. And then this one, I'm gonna pull a throwback. I hope you guys know something about this because I don't know. Not too many people are hip.
That is
It
looks familiar, but I don't know it like off the top.
You guys letting me down.
Hold on.
It's,
put in the camera again.
Metabots.
I was gonna say Microbots.
Yeah, Metabots. That was my show back in the day. I wanna find it somewhere to watch. I'm sure it's probably nowhere online.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, but yeah, Metabots is tough. Other than that, my other nerdy thing, heavy. I have been playing Elden Ring. So I'm I don't want to say I am flying through it. So I'm flying through it. So last time we recorded, I had gotten up to Commander O'Neill. And then later on that day, I went to fight Radon. So Radon, the Star Scourge of the Radon Festival, he was whooping me. I had posted about it on Instagram too. So people have been following my Instagram stories. I've been getting it in on Elden Ring. So Radon took me 35 tries. Yeah.
I saw one of your stories where you were like, "Yo, I can't beat this boss. I'm going to the gym." And then you went to the gym, came back,
man.
and went to the game.
That was crazy. So I went to the gym in real life, came back the very next time I booted up the game, I beat him. I was like, man, the gym actually works. So gym, shower, had a little snack, got on Elden Ring again, and then I beat him. So I died to him 35 times, but we finally got Radon out of there. So yeah, got through there. Next kind of story boss I got to with the Draconic Tree Sentinel. Before you enter Lanedale. I took 16 deaths. So I mean, I was still boxing. We doing some good boxing. Next story boss, Godfrey, the first Elden Lord, 23 times. He got me out of there. Went on that 24th. I got him. So yeah, we still been flying through the story. So these are all story bosses that I'm mentioning. I beat Morgott, the Omen King. He only killed me twice. Third time, he was out of there. I got him out of there. So that's, I don't want to say like the halfway point, but it opens up a whole new area of the map. That's not really a spoiler, but yeah, I got Morgott out of there. Two deaths to him. Next was my next big challenge, the Fire Giant. That's one of the toughest battles. It's not just you're fighting the Fire Giant, you're fighting the camera too. So it's a literal giant, but so of course your screen can only see but so much. But like every time I try to move the camera, like he would get out of view, and it's like a huge giant that I can't see for some reason. So, but you can see like his foot or something like that. So I could barely see what his attack was about to be for me to even know, all right, how do I want to dodge this thing? So Fire Giant, 46 times he killed me. So I was switching from locked on and not locked on because like it would be at certain points I want to be locked on, but then when it's time to move, I would like not be locked on, but move the camera to where I can see him and then try to get out the way. So it was tough trying to figure out what worked best for me as far as like my play style, because I'm still running with katanas, so I got to be up close and in their face with it. So Fire Giant, he beat me the most so far, 46 deaths. So another story boss. So we got Fire Giant out of there. I also got the Godskin duo out of there. It only took me 7 deaths. So on it, literally fall down 7 times, stand up 8. That's literally what it was for me. So Godskin duo, I got them out of there. The crazy thing about their fight is there's an enemy you have to fight before you get to them. So you can't just like respawn at the door. So like if the enemy you fight before you get back to the Godskin duo takes any of your health, like you go into at a disadvantage. So I was able to get him out of there. So Fire Giant. Now I'm at Malekith, the Black Blade. So far, I'm 14 deaths in. His move, it's a 2-phase fight. So his move set in the first phase is like kind of slow. He doesn't really move much. He has like big slow attacks. But his second phase, that man, he is spinning around like a Beyblade. He's all over the map, all over the arena. He's up high, he's down low. I don't even know how to dodge anything. And then if you get touched with a sword, it does tick damage. So like you might not die instantly, but if you like when you try to heal, it'll still keep on draining your health. So this one is tough. It's gonna take me a little while. And it's not even that I'll be losing, I'll be studying. So every time I take a L, I learn something new. Or at least I think so. But yeah, I've been trying to get familiar with his move set so I can get to a second phase pretty reliably now. But it's that second phase that's whipping me. So I got to get through the first phase, make it through there, get to the second phase where he has the crazy move set that I have no idea how to do anything with. I can barely even hit him because I don't know what windows are like, what are my opportunities to hit him. So but yeah, once I beat him, I think I got 4 story bosses left and then I'm done with Elden Ring. So yeah, I've been cooking. So from the last time we recorded, I beat let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 story bosses. So over the last 2 weeks or so. So yeah, I've been getting it in the Elden Ring. Yeah, and also, but I might add, no cheese. I did no sort of glitches, no hacks, just straight up boxing. So all the people that say you got to play Elden Ring a certain way, I have been playing that way pretty much. I mean, I have the Bolt of Grand Sacks now, which is like my ranged option, but I'm still just katanas. I have no spells at all, just because I'm mainly focusing on dexterity, so I don't even have the stat requirement to have spells. And then Mimic Tier, I've been using Mimic Tier, but it kind of sucks. My Mimic Tier is not that high of a level, and then it don't even be like actually fighting. Like sometimes all it does is just distract the boss for long enough for me to try to get a couple hits in. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, having a lot of fun with that. So I'm severely under leveled. I think I'm like level 82 right now, and max level I want to say per playthrough is like 150 or so. So
Yeah.
I'm
That's about where.
yeah, I'm more than halfway. Well, according to the PS5, like you know how it shows your percentage done with the game, I'm at like 66% or something like that. So yeah, but I'm only a level 82. So I should level up honestly, but I don't be feeling like going finding new bosses to beat. So yeah, I'm gonna just get in there and keep on boxing. Not gonna rework my strategy because my strategy is gonna work. I'm gonna just get in there and box. So I've been going in there with confidence though, because you know how sometimes you be like, oh, I lost, I gotta change something. I'll be like, man, I lost, I ain't changing a thing. I'm about to get back in there. So yeah, I just be running back to back to back. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna beat Malika today. Well, the Olympics on, so maybe not. That's my other nerdy thing. Been super nerding out about the Olympics, but
Oh yeah. Yep.
yeah. But yeah, that'll wrap it up. Let's get into some news items here. So speaking of, you know, sports, Olympics, EA Sports College Football 25 passes $500 million in sales. So people are still not
Yeah,
still,
people are
but
going
they've
crazy
been
about
waiting
this
for this
game.
to come back because it's been gone for a while, but it's finally come back. So 500 million in sales. Oh yeah, they're doing it.
Yeah, not only that, but now you can use like the college players' image and likeness. So that's been a huge thing.
Yep.
And it seems like EA put a lot of time and effort into this game in terms of like the graphics and gameplay because it's night and day compared to Madden. Like, and I'm not a huge EA Sports fan because what they did to 2K, NFL 2K. So I'm glad to see that there's a decent football game out there, and hopefully 2K learns from this because they're dropping the ball with NBA 2K. So you don't need just make good games, guys. Make good games. Forget all the fluff.
Yeah, that's all you need. And an interesting thing that here is it says that EA College Football 25 couldn't have been done without AI.
That is another thing.
Interesting.
So they use AI for a lot of the character models because there's like 5x. I'm just assuming, estimating like amount of like players and teams compared to the NFL. So it's a lot of models they had to do, and they said they use AI for a lot of that and stadiums and like the crowd and everything. So that's pretty cool. But then on the other hand, the whole fight that the voice actors were doing with like using AI and
Yeah.
media, TV, and all that. And so that's a part of this conversation too. They're like, okay, how many jobs did you replace because you use AI to do that? So that's another part of the discussion. But yeah, how do you guys feel about that?
Oh yeah. On one hand, I see it's like that would be like a decent use for it, but yeah, you have removed a lot of people's jobs by using AI modeling to do that. So it looks like here they have over 11,000 players and 150 stadiums in the game. So when you hear those numbers like that, you're like, okay, it makes sense that you would use, AI to generate some of that, but then that's X number of jobs that were just removed because you decided to use AI instead of having someone hand model all these things. So yeah, that's definitely a tough one.
I definitely think that it also affects people who will have the opportunity to come into the industry. That they won't have those entry level positions anymore, and so I think over time we might start to lose artists. People will be like, okay, like I went to school for this, and like I put like all this time and effort into like perfecting my craft, but there's no like jobs for me there, so I'll just go off and do something else, because like I've seen like so many posts of like AI art, you know if that gets better, we might start to lose the artists and their true the artistic vision. And so I think that it's good for some things, but when you start messing with like voices and models and games and whatnot, I think it can become a very slippery slope.
Yeah, you do bring up a good point of this is probably like entry level stuff. So the things that people feel are probably more tedious. So like oh, we got to model 11,000 characters, 150 stadiums. That's a perfect entry level type of job because like you'll have, oh, I worked on EA Sports 2025, as like I'm in the gaming industry, but now that opportunity has been removed from dozens of people that could have been able to do that. Because I mean, you don't want to send your top talent to be modeling stadiums if you got 150 of them to make. I mean, of course, your more iconic or the more popular stadiums, you probably do want, your top talent on that. But I mean, some of these smaller schools that people probably aren't going to be paying as much attention to, that would be a perfect place for someone entry level getting into the gaming industry to start. And then some of these 11,000 characters, like, I mean, no one's looking at, the third string wide receiver to see, like, I mean, of course him and his family are going to be looking at that, but I mean,
Right.
yeah, I mean, the masses aren't going to be like, oh, this isn't, 1-to-1 to scale. This game is terrible. That's something that, entry level artists, developers, anybody in the gaming industry could have tackled. So yeah, it does suck to see that, AI is starting to remove people from jobs, but it's not a horrible use of AI to where they're stealing, ideas and stuff like that. So
Right.
yeah,
And
that's a tough one to balance.
This article also mentions that they might have borrowed tech from Activision, because they're using AI reportedly to sell generative AI based skins to Call of Duty players. So that's so the SAG, they're saying, I'm gonna read the quote from the article. News of EA's use of AI comes hot on the heels of SAG-AFTRA's executing a strike for protection of its members against the use of AI. It also comes as it was revealed that Activision reportedly sold the generative AI-based skins to Call of Duty players. Section News was revealed during an investor call where, in his prepared remarks, CEO Andrew Wilson explained some of his use of AI in college football 25. So it's a topic of concern. We're gonna keep following it. This has been one of our hot topics that we've been tracking here on Blerdsnerds. So interested to see how this plays out.
Yeah, we're definitely going to keep on following this. But one thing we will not be able to follow anymore is Game Informer magazine. So they've announced that they're abruptly, after 33 years in publication, going to be closing down. So definitely want to pour one out for Game Informer. I think growing up, probably everybody had a Game Informer in their house. Whether it came with your game for free or you just liked whatever was on the cover. I'm pretty sure Game Informer had a space in many, many homes in the nerd community. So were you guys ever subscribed to Game Informer, or did you ever just like pick up random ones?
I remember seeing the cover for Arkham City, Batman Arkham City, and I thought the art was so beautiful. So it was just so like detailed, and like I remember picking that up. Like it was like maybe a month or two like before the game dropped, and I was like reading through it and just loving it. And then like as a kid, like I would go to the library or Barnes and Noble, and I would read them there. And so to hear this is just like, man, like that's a part, like there's a part of history in my childhood that's just gone. You know what I mean? So it's sad to see.
And even like on a I guess a macro note, like the whole physical, this is like a side effect of physical games going away. And not only was this a huge part of my childhood, I don't want to say Game Informer specifically, I'm gonna be honest, but I was a huge video game magazine person when I was a kid, and that was one of the ways like I got new video games too, because as a kid you don't have money, and my parents weren't big on video games. It was really my uncles. So my uncle, got me and my brothers a subscription to like game magazines. We were subscribed to the Xbox magazine. I forgot which one before that, but that Xbox magazine used to come with a demo disc with like different games to play. So every month we waiting for this magazine to come in. As soon as the magazine come in, we pop in looking at the demo disc before we even open the magazine. But then we spending hours looking at the magazine too. So like video game magazines, oh yeah, that was huge. That was how you found out about new games coming out. The reviews used to be in the magazines. You couldn't find it nowhere else. And huge part of my childhood. So this just reminds me of that. I know Game Informer was like the GameStop, magazine, right? For the store.
Yeah, GameStop owns Game Informer.
So, I mean, I hope GameStop doesn't shut down. Like, I hope like this isn't troubling news for them, but you know, they've been on the rocks for years.
Yeah,
Man,
so
been
definitely
on
tough
the
week
down.
for in gaming. So yeah, GameStop is the owner of Game Informer. So not only is the physical magazine ceasing publication, but they're also going to be shutting down the website for Game Informer. So the website won't even be out there anymore. So yeah, currently if you go to Game Informer website, it pops you up to a statement about, you know, how they're going to be closing down. So yeah, I mean GameStop, they also seem to be leaning away from physical stuff. So like I went to a GameStop recently and it's almost nothing but Funko Pops in there. So I mean they barely have physical games. So I was hoping to find some Blu-rays because I remember GameStop used to sell DVDs and like VHSs. So I was like, oh, maybe, you know, some of the JoJo's Blu-rays are in there. But yeah, it was basically a Funko Pop store. So
I feel like GameStop is becoming more like a video game pawn store. Like you go in there for used like
right.
equipment and used systems and controllers and stuff more than games. But
Yeah, I recently went in there. Gosh, I believe this was last Friday, and I was looking for a new PS5 controller, and I saw a PS2 controller, and I just recently bought one on eBay, and I saw one in there, and it was like it was like $15. I bought it immediately because I was like, yeah, definitely need that because you know there's not a lot of like the classic PS2 controllers just out there in the wild anymore. And so yeah, it's sad to see, honestly. Honestly, if I was to, pitch an idea, for them, I think they should turn it into like a gaming, like lounging, store, and like it have, maybe like retro consoles in there, like people can like come in and like it just game and like vibe out because like again, physical media, is dying. People aren't buying games anymore. They might come in for the hardware, but actual games, like it's just not happening anymore, unfortunately.
Yeah, you don't get those game booklets, the instruction booklet that show you how to play. None of that. You buy a game disc, it comes with it's just a disc in there, no artwork, no nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So you just reminded me of two things, Brandon. First, I want to say rest in peace to the Xbox 360 because they're shut down now. And
yes.
but that's where emulation comes in. And the second thing leading into that you reminded me of, like the whole turning it into like a gaming lounge, GameStop. So I just recently went up to a spot down here that you pay $5. Like I know like a bar like arcades, right? Like New York has barcade. We got like arcade monsters and stuff down here, and I think it was arcade monsters that I went to. But no, it was another one. I forgot the name of it. Player One is what it's called down here. You walk in there, $5, you in. All the machines, free to play. But what's cool about this bar is not only did they have like the arcades, like the normal like arcades that you all love, mad different types of arcades. They had like systems set up. So like you can go to the bar, like ask for the controller, and there's a TV over the bar, and now you're playing Smash Brothers on the whatever Nintendo 64 or whatever systems that's there, or you can bring your own controller, or they had these arcade sticks set up. Like there'll be two arcade sticks set up, and it's hooked up to a screen, and you can like scroll through millions of games. Like they had emulators set up on mad screens where you can play.
Wow.
Like not only like any system, but like the modded games that people made. Like I played Streets of Rage with like X-Men characters. It was crazy. I was like, yo, this is, and that's one of like the ideas that I had. Like I wanted to start something like that.
All right, part two, we jumping right back in where we left off. The video had cut out Zoom, so we're back. But jumping back in, we'll go with some TV movie news. So Squid Game season 2. A teaser trailer dropped and an actual announcement of the date. So did you guys check that out?
I still haven't seen Squid Games. Still have not seen it. I've heard it's good though.
Yeah, no, it's definitely good.
I'm not a huge Squid Games fan. Like I told you, I didn't watch season 1. I wasn't like, I don't know. I don't know why the hype of it turned me off. And then when I found out the backstory of how they got the show, I was totally off of it. I don't know if you know the backstory, Brandon, but they pretty much bought this story for like, I mean, not the story, the the guy who wrote Squid Games, it failed wherever he's from. I forgot. I don't want to misspeak and say he's from somewhere he's not. But wherever it debuted at, it failed. Netflix bought it from him, pennies at the dollar. And then when it blew up, he's not getting any residuals from it. Like, so.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Milk
so
it.
I'm kind of like off the show a little bit, but I might check it out. We'll see.
Yeah, so we got
You gonna
season
watch it,
2
James?
dropping. Yeah, well, if Netflix isn't going crazy by then, because yeah, I got logged out of my parents' one, so if I get my own Netflix, maybe, but or maybe I'll go to a watch party. But yeah, 2025 they got it says the final season, so I guess there was more to the story than we knew. I mean, well, it did end on, I don't want to say a cliffhanger, but it ended on a suggestive note of like there might be more to this. Because like how it started, it ended kind of that same way of like, you know how like Jigsaw has like, do you want to play a game? It's like a similar thing in Squid Game where the guy presented like a business card and then you're like, okay, he's about to run it back. So yeah, it did look like there's more Squid Game to come. So I mean, well, there definitely was, but season 2 is announced for 2025.
Okay.
Also, this past weekend, we had San Diego Comic-Con, and that is where we'll be getting into the meat and potatoes of this here pod. So, heavy spoiler warnings coming up. Not from San Diego Comic-Con, but we'll transition into Deadpool from this. So, let's see some of the things that were announced. What were some of the things that you guys were excited to hear coming out of San Diego Comic-Con?
So there was I mean, we know the biggest thing. I don't know if you want to start off with the biggest thing.
Yeah, the biggest thing, of course,
Do we want to start
RDJ.
there? Yeah,
Might
he's
as well.
back. Yeah. So, yep, Robert Downey Jr. has claimed yet another role in Marvel. So he's coming back as Doom.
Different mask, same task. I like the way he did that. I love the way they did this whole thing. They got me. They got me to just hand out my wallet before the movie's even out. Like they always know how to do that. They always know how to get me hyped for shit.
Yep. So it's the Russo brothers are officially returning. And they're directing Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret War. So it looks like the Avengers will be back for sure. And they got Doomsday coming May 2026 and Secret Wars coming May 2027. So these are tentative dates right now. They may be pushed back. You would never know. But yeah, that's what they've announced so far.
And it's a good idea for Marvel to do this. They needed some hype. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially coming right off of Deadpool, use that momentum to say we bringing back the best directors we've ever had. Well, not, I don't want to say ever had, because they've had a lot of good directors. And Robert Downey Jr., who was kind of like, spoiler alert, the anchor being of the MCU, we could kind of say. But
yeah. Can I come in with more cynical take?
Oh, let's hear it.
I think that this is a very, very, very a completely like transparent move on Marvel to bring people back. I think that their previous stuff has been very hit or miss. There is no hiding it, and I think because I would imagine that I don't think it's Victor Von Doom. I think it's going to be like a Tony Stark like variant or something like that will be playing Doctor Doom, which I mean is fine. It's cool. I know that there are comics where that does happen. I understand that. But I think that bringing in the Russo brothers, bring him back. I'm just like, dang, I don't know, Marvel. I don't know. I'm interested. I'm very interested to see, but I'm just like, are they going to do it well? And what's the plan after this? Are they going to keep trying to bring back old people for that hype? Or are they going to lean into the characters that they have been setting up since 2021, I believe, with with WandaVision and Falcon and like all those shows since then. That's just my take.
So I did have that thought that they were gonna do use him as like a variant type of thing and be like, oh, then this reality, Tony Stark, or whatever name he uses, Victor Von Doom, grew up in this environment and then turned out to be Dr. Doom. And I've even watched there's a bunch of YouTube videos with this theory too. Like shout out to Comics Explained. He did a really good one where he showed like how they have very similar like characteristics, and would be very easy for Marvel to do that. I don't know if they're gonna do that. I think they're gonna just use the mask as a way to not like show his face, and we're gonna get him acting as like a whole totally new character. That's what I feel like they're gonna do. But it would be interesting to see if they just play on this whole variant thing. I think with the Deadpool movie, with the scene where Deadpool was talking about the whole multiverse thing is kind of overdid. I think they're gonna try and move away from that. So if they do what you're suggesting with Tony Stark, it would be playing into the multiverse stuff. And I don't know. I don't know if they still want to go heavy on that.
Yeah. It is. Yeah, it's a very interesting situation because we have no information, no nothing. This is all, speculation. And so, it does make you wonder, how are they going to do this? Are they going to lean into, him being, RDJ, or are they just going to go, full in? No, this is, like a brand new character, not tied to like Tony Stark, Iron Man, like none of that,
Mm-hmm.
I wonder. I want to be hopeful. I do want to be hopeful. That was just my initial thought. Like, oh my gosh, what's happening?
Yeah, well, we're about 2 years out from that one, so we'll definitely see what Marvel's cooking up. I'm interested in the Secret Wars as well, though. So, yeah, we got some Marvel to look out for. It seems like we'll just always have some good Marvel to be on the lookout for. So, well, whether it's good or not, that's to be determined. But there will always be something Marvel's cooking up. So, they have revealed that Giancarlo Esposito in Captain America, his role is the leader of the Serpent Society. So, for the people that were wondering, all right, what's he going to be doing in here? They have made it clear now. So he'll be playing Seth Volker, aka Sidewinder, in Captain America: Brave New World.
And they also said that the Eternal Celestial Tiamu, his body is adamantium, so that got introduced as well. And I don't know if you want to there was a lot of stuff announced at this Comic-Con, James. Like, we're gonna be here forever if we go through this list. I don't know if you want to I was trying to speed through it, but there's a lot of stuff we might want to mention. So I don't know if you want to speed through it, because it's a lot of stuff.
Let's hit a speed run mode. So just call out some of the bigger things that you're looking out for. So a lot was announced, but just some of the things that we're personally a little bit more excited about are let's hear them.
Of course, Fantastic Four. They showed teaser trailer for that.
Definitely.
What else? We got Thunderbolts.
Are y'all excited for Thunderbolts?
Super hyped for Thunderbolts.
That's something. Okay.
I love Yelena Belova's character. I thought she did an amazing job in that Black Widow movie. Like, she stole the show from me.
Facts.
And I think they said there's going to be featuring her. Like, she might be the main. I don't know if she's going to be the leader of the team, but it seems like she's going to be the main chick.
Because Bucky is also in the movie, right? Okay. See, I was really hoping that Bucky was going to be in the Captain America movie, because I liked their dynamic in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Like, I thought they had great chemistry. So I was a little disappointed to hear, or I mean, right now, I don't think he is in it. But yeah, that should be interesting.
Yeah, they got a nice team over there. And then we got a trailer. We got the trailer for Lord of the Rings Season 2. And then when Shannon can come back, she could talk about the boys getting a Soldier Boy and Stormfront prequel called Fort Rising.
Yes, I'm excited for that.
For the boys.
Yes, I love the boys. Really, really solid show.
For the fighting game fans out there, Mortal Kombat 1 Chaos Reigns DLC was revealed, and it's going to have Ghostface, T-1000, Female Sector, and Cyrax. So they dropped some footage of these new characters that are coming. So Mortal Kombat fans rejoice. They got some new content.
And I did see this Creature Commandos teaser trailer, and it looks crazy. It's another like Suicide Squad type show, but it looks better from the trailer. I don't know, but I'm hyped for that. And of course, Peter Gunn showed his new logo for the DC Studios, and it looks dope. It looks fire.
Yeah, Star Trek fans. I'm not a huge Star Trek fan, but we'll cover this for you guys. They're getting a Star Trek live action comedy.
Yeah.
That's interesting there. I don't know much about Star Trek myself, so for a live action comedy, maybe good, maybe not. I don't know if Star Trek
announced a lot of Star Trek stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of Star Trek stuff. And I didn't realize there was this many Star Trek shows out, but a lot of new seasons and even for like cartoons and all that stuff. I don't know if you want to go straight to the Penguin teaser trailer.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, I saw that.
I saw that. That looks like it's going to be fun. It's from the Gotham universe. So it's a spinoff of the Batman, the movie, The Batman. So it's using that Penguin. And he was pretty cool. I liked him in the movie. So
I did too.
Yeah, I think he did a good job in that movie.
Mm-hmm.
And we got any Watchmen fans?
Not a big fan.
Okay, yeah. I was into the Watchmen. It looks like they're coming out with like a cartoon.
I did. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, they premiered like a scene from that. And then Deadpool and Wolverine, there was a whole bunch of people who came out and they watched the movie with the crowd on the first day. So there was a bunch of cameos. Ryan Reynolds, Hugh Jackman came, and a bunch of others. We don't have to name them all, but like there was a lot of people from the movie there. A lot of the cameo people like came out.
That's dope.
Yeah, that's really cool.
I want to make it out to one of those one day. So it's actually the same weekend as DreamCon, but
okay.
I would like to make it out there. It's just that amount of people. I know you're standing in line all day.
Oh yeah.
And that's LA too. So I wonder, it's probably bigger than the New York one, I would imagine.
Yeah, massive costs, massive lines.
Hollywood's out there. It's easy access to like, stars and stuff. More like stars appearances.
Yeah.
Do you know if the Kite Man show or like a trailer that was shown? Yeah,
it's out on HBO Max. I saw that.
Okay.
Yeah, it has a couple episodes out. I have that on my list.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, that was what was his name? Lance Reddick, right?
Yeah, it was a spinoff from Harley Quinn, right? Kite Man.
I think so.
I got no idea here, folks.
I just know that that was Lance Reddick's final role before he passed last year.
Sure. Oh, rest in peace.
So I definitely got to check it out. I was a big fan of his.
Then we got. I'm looking at Yakuza, the live action series. They casted Nikishi. And they have a teaser trailer for that. So, Like a Dragon Yakuza, anybody who's into that, I'm into that. I'm looking forward to that.
Yes, I'm excited for that too.
Yeah, I checked that out. Oh, speaking of casting, we didn't cover, but Robert Downey Jr. is set to receive $100 million in salary and bonuses for his role as Dr. Doom in Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, I might need to start acting or something. 100 mil? That's crazy.
Yeah, 100. Wow.
That's the whole movie budget right there. But
honestly, good for him.
We can wrap. I mean, I don't know if you want to jump into the movie stuff.
Let's get to the
time is like kind of mid, even though it's worth mentioning. But we want to get to the good stuff.
We want to talk about Deadpool, so let's go ahead and talk about it. Yeah. All right. Wait, you seen it, right, Brandon?
Huh?
You seen Deadpool, right?
Oh yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, we'll start with our personal score ratings. All right, Jaja, what you rating? You watched it twice now. Out of 10, what are you giving Deadpool?
Out of 10, dang, you are right on the spot with the rating. I'm gonna give it's high, man. It gets a high rating for me. I want to say, like, right off the top of my head, I'm gonna give it a 9.
9? Okay.
Yeah.
Brandon, what about you?
Yeah, I'm thinking a 9. It was really, really good movie.
Yep, I'm giving it a 9 as well. It had a 9 off that opening sequence when they started dancing. I was like, I already like this
Yeah.
movie. So,
Mhm.
like that dancing that he was also fighting, but using the adamantium. I was like, man, this is tough. So, yeah, Deadpool. It's safe to say we all liked it. We'll get Shannon's rating when she comes back too. But yeah, let's get into it. So, well, is there anything top of mind for you guys that you want to chime in on about the movie?
I or
Go ahead, Brandon.
okay. Um, I just want to like think that like if you have like been following comic book news for years, this movie was probably like like a pipe dream almost. You know what I mean? Like I mean we had okay, so we are like it's spoilers, right?
Yeah, this is
Of course.
spoiler warning
Okay,
for
okay,
the rest of the pod.
okay, cool. All right. I mean we had Channing Tatum as get what? I
Mhm.
never ever thought I would see that. I never thought.
Mhm.
Like it was rumors for years, and then to see it, I was like, wow, that is wow. They went deep in their bag,
Yeah,
and
he held no punches with the accent, and his fight
no,
scene was amazing.
I loved it. And it was rated R. Like it was like I mean, like really showing, just how his powers would be in real life. And I just think they did an amazing job on it. Amazing job. And Henry Cavill, Wolverine, Cavalrine, that was amazing. That like I did not see that coming at
Not at
all.
all.
Like
Yeah, he did a good job keeping that one tight-lipped.
yes, like that. I mean, that was a super deep
I
cut.
mean,
Also,
there was rumors that he was gonna play it, but then they're like, "You're gonna like." They thought he was gonna be the main character, but to just show up as a
mm-hmm.
variant like that, to just show the possibility of how it would look, that was dope. I like that.
Do you think that
If
was
I
them like
if I
testing the
had
waters, like to see like how the audience like like react to it? Do you think we'll see him again?
as Wolverine,
Yeah.
not unless it's like a Secret Wars cameo and it's like Mad Wolverines and they just need. Yeah, I don't know. I
Yeah,
don't because that's money, man. You got to think about the money. Like
that's
the
true.
joke that Deadpool made in the movie, like they had to kill off Chris Evans because he was killing the budget.
Yeah, you
Like
see what he's doing to the
that,
budget.
that's real talk. So while we're on cameos, you might as well go through all the cameos. Chris
Yeah.
Evans, everybody thought he was going to show up as Captain America. He showed up as Johnny from Fantastic Four. I thought that was cool.
That was
Yeah, that was dope.
that was crazy.
We got Blade. I was extremely hyped to see Blade.
Man.
If it wasn't for Channing Tatum, Blade would have been my favorite cameo.
Yep.
Like they're both right there. I don't know which one is the better one, but Blade surprised the living mess out of me.
I was not expect. I was so glad I was able to dodge spoilers because like that's something that like seeing it in movie for the first time and not having that spoiled. I was like, man, this movie is cooking.
And
Yeah.
I'm the guy in the movie theater who clapping for all those scenes and screaming and stuff. Like, yeah, they got me.
They definitely did it.
We had Elektra.
Yep. She
That was
popped up.
yeah, that was cool. Did not expect to see her.
Mm-hmm.
I was
And
like,
we got
okay.
who else do we get?
We had X-22.
Yeah, X-23
or 23.
from
Yeah.
Logan.
That was cool. I really wish they hadn't shown that in the trailer. I'm not sure why they put out a trailer like a week before the movie came out and showed that she was like in it. Because that would have been a crazy reveal. Like crazy reveal. But like they saved enough for like the actual movie. So like I'm not too mad at it.
Yeah, I think I only watched the very first trailer, and after that, I was like, nah, I'm not watching anything else. So a lot of this was a surprise to me, thankfully.
Yeah.
So and then the comment that Blade made about there was going to be only one Blade, I thought that was fire. He's shooting shots at Marshall Ali, so that was hype. Get your stuff together over there, or just scrap it.
Yeah,
Man.
it's not looking pretty for that Blade title coming out.
And then one little comment: if I had to critique Gambit's character, he is super OP. If he could just glow the stick and the stick touches you and you blow up, what is going? Yo, some of the X-Men characters are OP. We got to have another separate conversation about this at a later date, because there's some X-Men characters that if it went X-Men versus Avengers, I don't see how the Avengers are getting out of that. But anyway,
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah. They have some.
Just Morph alone, Morph will transform into any Avenger and use their powers on them. It's over. So, but what else we want to talk about?
Hugh Jackman did a great job as Wolverine in there.
Yes.
Story-wise, I think the story made sense to me. I did see some people saying that, you know, none of this made sense, but I mean, they incorporated the TVA in a way that made sense to the story. Talking about anchor beings, about, you know, how that Wolverine was the anchor being in his place. You know what, I really enjoyed, this is a little bit off topic, but the different Deadpools that had showed up.
Oh yeah.
You were talking about Wolverine. I was gonna get into the different Wolverines that showed up. I was like,
we got a whole bunch of different the super short Wolverine,
accurate Wolverine. That was the show. I'm like,
that was good.
But yeah, the different Deadpools, man. You know, Ryan Reynolds' kids with two of those Deadpools, baby Deadpool and kid Deadpool.
I didn't know that.
And his wife was Lady Deadpool.
Yep.
That's tough. He put the whole family on.
And the team that he owns, that the green, white, and red Deadpool, that's to represent, I think, the soccer team that he owns with the guy, because the soccer athlete played that character. He had some other soccer athlete cameo. Yeah, the Deadpool scene was see. So if we're gonna talk about the fights, the two one-on-one fights where Wolverine kind of won both of those fights. I mean, he was on top at the end. We can say he won the two one-on-ones. Like, but those one-on-one fights, like, were graphic as heck. Like, I'm talking about
they did
stabbing each other. I wasn't expecting them. Well, they both regenerate. I was expecting it, but just to see it was another thing. Like, you shooting into his ribs, he's stabbing you in the head, and then you know. Then I like how they did the whole spoof of the UFC. I mean, I don't want to say it's UFC, but there's some sport on ESPN where these dudes are fighting in a car. Like, you start off in the front seats of a car and y'all got to wrestle. I don't know if the goal is to make the guy submit or to just get out the car, but y'all are fighting in the car, trying to wrap the seatbelt, all that.
That's crazy.
So I thought that was a cool spoof of that.
Yeah, like that whole scene is probably my favorite scene in the movie, because, man, like, Hugh Jackman was just going in on him. You know, like that whole, you know, scene where he's just like cussing him out, you know, and then, you know, like they start fighting. So well done. So well done. Well choreographed. Like, the action scenes were amazing in this movie, and they were graphic and they were unique. I loved it. Loved it.
They had some solid fight. When they teamed up against the Deadpools, that was some really good fight sequence there. I mean, my favorite one was still, of course, the opening sequence. That was some fighting, but I think their first 1v1 when they first landed in that desert area, that was probably my first, because, like, Deadpool had his guns. Wolverine was like, nah, them guns ain't gonna work on me. So I was like, man, they really throwing hands out here. He cut his guns up. Yeah, it was crazy. So that was my favorite fight scene in the movie.
Did you think we were gonna get the mask?
I wasn't expecting it, because, like, we barely seen Wolverine in a suit, so I was like,
Was so
they already gave us the suit, so I wasn't even really expecting it. But then when he pulled the mask out, I was like, oh, this is dope.
That was perfect. We needed that. If you were gonna do the comic book suit, you'd had to do the mask. Come on, that whole scene was epic. But then in my mind, I'm like, okay, so I'm gonna critique the movie again, because you know, this is me.
Why not?
Like, when they stabbing each other up, it's like, all right, I know y'all regenerate, but y'all don't take damage. Like, it used to be like you get hurt from it, and you know, y'all feel the effects of the pain. It's just that you regenerate. So in my mind, I thought y'all two going up against 100 Deadpools, it's like, that's gonna be tough. But then see they were all down for the count for the most part, but then they regenerated. It was kind of like, all right, I got you for the movie. But, like, if this was a real comic book situation, I think y'all would get tossed by 100 Deadpools, like, easy. So,
that's true. I mean, because I mean, like you have to think that they're probably on the same skill level as our Deadpool. So
Right.
yeah, they were kind of just like tearing through them, and I was like, okay, fine. Like it was cool.
I give you a pass.
But we knew, like there was no actual like consequences from it.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, they all heal.
Yeah. And I
I mean?
didn't understand how X-23 was able to cut Juggernaut's ankles. I thought he was like impenetrable, but whatever. I'll give him another
Yeah.
pass.
Yeah, definitely willing to allow, some things just for, like just for things to be cool. I'm told like I'm totally fine with that. And it was cool. I loved
How do you guys feel about the post credits?
it. Chris Evans he is like I don't think he gets the recognition that he deserves for being such a good actor, for being able to, turn and do, like a Johnny Storm who's, like cussing and, just kind of, just like a douchebag basically, to, Captain America, you know what I mean? Who's, so, straight laced and so proper and, whatnot. And so I thought it was pretty funny. And I liked how it didn't try to set up like more sequels. It was just a self-contained like joke.
Yeah,
And so
I greatly appreciated that, because I mean, in the movie when he was saying all that stuff, I was like, "There's no way this guy said that." But then he was like, they actually showed that he said all that, and I was like, "Oh man, that was wild." But like, I like an end credit scene like that where they're not getting too ambitious. They're just like, "All right, this is not a self-contained movie, but a self-contained joke within the movie, where we can just appreciate something after the credits and then be like, all right, what's next for Marvel?" Versus they try to introduce some new big bad in the end credits, and then
And then I also didn't know if they were playing off the She-Hulk Kevin machine, where it was like maybe he can adjust the script to make him say that.
Oh yeah.
But
I forgot all about Kevin.
It did cut off with him. With it led to your, you have to. It's up to your imagination whether he said it or not. But now that we saw that whole She-Hulk thing, it's like, wait, can Deadpool do what She-Hulk did? Because he could have just put words in his mouth for real. So it's like a toss up. You don't know which one really happened, up to me. And then like we got Galactus though. They did tease a big bad. Galactus peering into the window.
Oh, you know what? I forgot all about that.
We did see that.
I do have a theory that I want to talk about. I hope we have enough time. It should be quick. But
yeah, let's see it.
I wish that they showed, like in the beginning, like when they were saying that this is the worst Wolverine, and it's like, all right, he's at the bar and then bartender doesn't want to give him alcohol. It's like, all right, if he's going around on a rampage just killing innocent people, like there was a better way to show that. Like everybody at the bar should show that they're scared of him. I thought they could have did a better job delivering like this is the worst Wolverine, because I didn't feel like he was the worst Wolverine. But on the flip note, my other theory is that, check this out. I don't think a lot of people are talking about this. I think they were alluding to real life. Now, stay with me. They said they wanted me to put on the suit, but I wouldn't put on the suit. I think that's like a meta joke from like, how they had the black leather and they were making jokes about comic actor-ish suits being in live action, how that would look stupid. I think that was a meta joke saying like, I did all the Wolverine suit stuff, but like the MCU wanted me to put on the suit, or whoever wanted me to put on the suit. I walked away from the team, and that led to like the Fox universe kind of like being destroyed, and like the fans in real life like turning on them and killing them in a sense. So we killed the Fox MCU and his universe because they didn't continue their stuff, or he walked away. I thought that was a fun little twist.
That's a big brain thought right there.
That is.
And how they couldn't pull, the whole thing about how they couldn't pull this off without him, the whole merger thing, they needed him as a plot device to merge this whole thing. So that's why it's like he's the anchor being, you can't do this without him, type of thing.
Gotcha. So they really had their thinking caps on.
Yeah. Wow. That's a good theory. That's a really good theory, because I don't think a lot of people were too happy with the X-Men films after a certain point. I think everyone liked First Class, and I think everyone liked Days of Future Past. But like Apocalypse, Dark Phoenix, New Mutants. I don't think people were really banging on them. I know I wasn't. Wow, that's a good theory.
Yeah, I don't remember any of those movies, so I might need to rewatch them. I'm not a big rewatcher, but I mean, these I have no idea what happened in those movies, so I think it will be worth a rewatch. Since I don't recall them at all, so maybe I'll give it a try.
Can I come in with a cynical take?
Let's hear it.
Okay, so like, look at two things. One, I think that if you have not been following comic book like news or movies, I don't think you will enjoy this movie as much. This is a movie that takes some homework to fully enjoy. Like I don't think I could take, like my dad to see this and he would have the same reaction and the same appreciation for the film that I would. And I'm starting to see a bit of a trend with some of Marvel's bigger movies, in the last 3-4 years? No, 3 years. Because I think it started Spider-Man No Way Home. I think Multiverse of Madness, and now this film. They all require you to do some homework, not a lot, but some homework to fully appreciate, the cameos, the in jokes, and so it makes me wonder what is next for Marvel. At what point are they going to be done with the nostalgia and start really moving forward with their own characters or new characters, and build hype with, Shang-Chi, and it's Marvel, whoever.
So I kind of totally disagree with that take.
Okay.
I kind of feel like they were playing off of the nostalgia. Like, you didn't need to see any of these movies. Nothing in the plot of these movies really had an effect on anything. You just needed to know that these movies existed. You know what I mean? And like when I went to the movie theater, people were bringing their families to come see this Deadpool movie. There were mad kids in this movie. So
yeah, there was a kid next to me too. I was like, what's this kid
yeah,
doing?
so like the kids are into like Deadpool, and like as we know, as you can see this across the TV movie space, they just rehash stuff from our childhood to give it back to the kids and just try to like cycle it. We got Ninja Turtles and then Power Rangers, and then what else are we gonna bring back?
Yeah,
like
this
they
worked
just
before, we're gonna bring
rehash
it back.
everything. So developing new characters is an investment that a lot of people don't want to do. So like they'll fit them in where they can, but I don't see them like shifting everything like to like the new Avengers or the teen Avengers until they have to, until this is not working no more. Like they got so many characters, and then like you said, your dad was probably knows about the comic book. Like my uncles were huge comic book nerds. Like this is for them too, kind of. Like of course it's not the same as the comics, so you're still trying to get them. You're trying to win them over. You know what I mean? You're still trying to win the old heads over. So I don't know. I feel like they still trying to lean into like and then I've seen some takes similar to what you're saying. Like some people are saying this was a really good bad movie. Like then nothing really happened in this movie. There was no plot. It was just Marvel promoting Marvel. And if you want to look at that like that, you can. But I think there was a plot, and I liked it. But yeah,
oh yeah,
a lot of fan service in this movie. So I know what you're talking about. But Marvel's like a huge brand. I feel like they're so recognizable that like.
Yeah, I do. I do kind of wish they would go back to like standalone films or standalone franchises. It feels like Marvel itself is a franchise, so you have to watch everything in the franchise to be abreast to what happens in one singular movie versus like, oh, I'm just going to see the like, you know how when Sony was dropping Spider-Man, it was like, all right, this Spider-Man is a franchise. It's 1, 2, 3. You don't got to watch, every other Sony movie in existence to know what's going on. You just got to watch, the first and second Spider-Man maybe. So if we get back to that, I would be super glad because you'd be having to watch TV shows, you'd be having to watch movies that dropped 10 years ago to know what's going on. It's a lot.
Yeah, I don't know if it's something about the cameos, but there are certain Marvel movies that just grabs everybody, not just the comic book nerds. Like I got like people asking me about this movie who aren't comic book nerds. You know what I mean? Like, this is just one of those Marvel movies that like gravitate to everybody. I don't know what it is about it, but like you're saying, like there's certain movies that don't. You know, and if they do the standalones, it'll be more focused, and maybe they could develop the plot, and it'll gravitate to people, but just not off of recognition. It won't. But I don't know. Something they got to work on. That's what they got to.
Yeah. So aside from getting away from like multiverse stuff, I think the interconnected like cinematic universe stuff, I think they could and should get away from that. Because then like you have a wider audience, because not everybody's up to date on the latest everything going on in the MCU, but like someone's like, oh, I just happen to like this character, they're dropping a movie, oh, I can go watch it, no problem. Versus, wait, what I gotta watch I gotta watch YouTube summaries and stuff like that to know what's gonna happen in this movie. It's getting pretty convoluted where you can't just jump in on an individual title and enjoy it.
Yeah.
But yeah, any last thoughts? We got it's the 2-minute warning here.
Okay. Counterpoint to that. Oh, I'm sorry.
No.
Okay. Like I think that we have been getting a little bit more of the individual stories. I think what it is now is that they are so disconnected. Like Moon Knight, like Miss Marvel, let me see, WandaVision, Black Widow, all these characters are very well spread out, and they're not bringing them together. And so I'm really interested to see, how they're going to bring them together for the Avengers film, because there's not a lot of connective tissue, I think. And so I think, it's been doing well to do the individual stories, but we got to bring it back together somehow, some way.
Gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense. But yeah, that's about all the time we got this time, folks. So another boys' night in the books. Appreciate you, Brandon, for joining us. Also, we should shout out, we have crossed over 100 subscribers on YouTube. So big thank you to everyone that's supporting. Until next time, follow us on all our socials. This is the Blerdsnerds podcast. So I'm James.
I'm Jaja.
And I'm Brandon.
Thanks for listening, everybody. Peace.
Peace.